I'm Ruchi.
And I'm Deepak. So today we are doing a video call with a lot of people around the world answering their questions related to moving to Canada, schooling, daycares and all those. So let's take you there to the call.
Come join us. So you guys probably know, but I'm Ruchi. He's Deepak. We have a 3-year-old. She just turned 3-year-old little girl named Arsha. We have been living in Canada from last 10 years now. We started our journey. Deepak came here for his masters. I joined him back in that time. We were in Ottawa. In these past year, we have explored so many different cities. We have lived in Ottawa, Mississauga, Toronto, Waterloo, Kitchener. Kitchener is our home from last 7 years now. And we both are from IT profession, and I'm also a real estate person. I have made my transition to that career last year. We have a little community on YouTube and Instagram with the name Canadian Parinday. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, where we started the journey in terms of sharing our experience and especially bringing awareness to the new immigrants in terms of the housing market.
Perfect. So I think whosoever wants to start with, I know that there can be a lot of questions. So anyone can start. Maybe Ekta, you want to start anything you want to ask, and then we can do the conversation. It's not like an interview session. We can just do conversation.
Okay. So the first and the foremost question that is there in my mind since long, we started our journey 2 years ago. Because of COVID, it took a lot of time. So this question always pops up in my mind. My son is about to be 3.5. So we are landing next month only. So I'm confused what is the formal age of schooling, because in India 3 plus is the age for the nursery, and by that time every child more or less knows how to write, how to color and everything. So vocally my child is very he knows everything. He speaks really well in English, but written he has no idea how to even hold a pencil. So I have no idea about this thing, the age of formal education, and also after landing, do I need to get him admission into a play school or into a daycare? So I'm confused about this.
I think this is more like a question for everyone, right? So what we share with what happened with Arsha, say we both work full time, right? And we tend to send Arsha to daycare, that is 5 days a week. Now there are few different kind of a daycare. You can get a home daycare, and this is what I'm talking before 4, because officially the age of a schooling start from 4 year onwards. So if your kid is 4 year, by the time of September, he will be getting the admission. Say with Arsha, she's a February baby, so we have to wait until September. At least I can tell for my city. Now the different boards of different city may have a different rule. Whichever is the city you want to come in, you may want to check with your local school.
Okay. And what are the charges for the daycare, this type of daycare, institutional daycare?
See, there used to be a time when the institutional daycare were more expensive than the home daycare. It's not a case anymore. I think COVID has played their role as well. More or less what we are paying for Arsha is 1200 plus taxes. The good part is, and I'm not publicizing anything, but we just actually have shared this video last week, just for the sake that in Canada the government is working upon to reduce the charges of the daycare. Eventually over the span of 5 years it will come to $10 a day, but the 50% should be effective soon by summers or early fall.
Okay, that's great.
That will be the big relief for parents for sure.
Exactly. Okay, and when the formal schooling starts, by the age of 4, so they teach from the basics, like holding pencil and writing everything.
So you know what, this is what I've heard from my friends. Teachers don't help you holding the pencils. Even to daycare, when she have learned to eat herself. She had learned to hold a pencil herself. I think it's more like they influence the kids, and similarly in the school.
Hi, just want to know, is there a age bracket for daycare?
No, You can start sending your kid, 6 months is the minimum. You can start sending your kid as young as 6 months. Even if parents don't want to send them to the school after 4, right? For any reason, you can still continue sending them to the daycare.
Okay. And so you told me the timings are 7 to 6, right?
Not for all. So that's one thing. It's not applicable for all the daycare. Where Arsha go is a YMCA, which is the institutional. In our city, that is the time. Maybe if you're coming in Mississauga, could be possible. The timing may be different.
Every daycare has a different timing. We have seen kids. Normally, what happen is that their daycare time is like 8 to say 3, and then after that, if you want to get an extension, you have to pay extra.
Just wanted to know what are the office timings and a usual shift.
I think he can answer better because
I think 9 to 5 is as usual, right? Like, and again, like if you're in IT or any kind of a job, like professional job, 9 to 5. Even like banks they got off even earlier because they start earlier. Teachers, they got off earlier.
So on what I recall from my IT part, it's usually 8 hours plus 1 hour of lunch break, 9 hours. That exclude your commute time, which was pre-COVID, or even in COVID, it actually end up easily being 10 hours. Again, depending upon your profession too, right?
So could you also help me out with the different kinds, because probably I don't understand Montessori and YMCA. What are the different kinds of daycare? How do you classify them basically?
So I would say daycare, from our experience and the research that we did at the time of putting Arsha, they are in 3 main categories. Institutional, which would be, for example, YMCA, and again, every province have a different institutional. Say in Ontario is YMCA, in Quebec it might be something entirely different. A friend of ours in Vancouver, they have entirely different system. So second category is your home daycare, where somebody who is licensed. Again, any business, you cannot have it in Canada without being licensed unless you are cooking from home, something that kind of. So even if it's a day home care, you have to be licensed, and with license they have a limitation that they cannot have maybe more than 4 or 5 kids. They have to have a proper arrangement and have a whole safety
they have to even
certified.
get it from like the fire department. They have to get a clearance from the fire department.
Okay.
And the third category is the Montessori one. So Montessori, the usually thing is, they are, like Deepak said, it was usually 8 to 3 o'clock, and after 3, if you want to continue, if you want your kid to continue stay there until 5 or 6, you have to pay the lump sum extra amount. They call it after school, and it's not it's after school, or either they call it half day or full day.
Yeah, I think we even gonna make a video on this, just to be more explain and showing what they do, how they are different.
So looking forward to that. And these home daycares, are they comparatively cheaper or they expensive?
They are not cheaper. They all have like the standard rates now. Sometimes you may find the private one little cheaper if it's not too popular, or if someone recently started, only because of that.
How does the proximity work there? Is it are these daycares usually available at near your place, near your house, or probably near a working place? Just a suggestion. Are you sending your kids to a daycare that is near your office, or is it more feasible to send them near your home?
I think so. What happened is that so say these YMCAs, they are all in the school parameter, like they are in the school part of the same building. So your community will probably have 1 or 2 school within 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers. Now, unless you want to send your kid to a special Montessori one, which is out of the way, which is other story. But mostly what we prefer is, if we had to go to work, it should be on our way. And part of the reason why a lot of people sending their kids to private, because someone in their neighborhood is running that daycare.
or it will keep that in mind. I think that's very critical.
Whichever community you live in, maybe a townhouse, maybe a condo, maybe a detached, talk to parents around, because probably you will be sending your kid to the same daycare where other kids are going. Get to know about the structure in terms of what activity they engage in.
Or Google reviews.
Yes, Google reviews the
It
best
really
place.
helps. Google reviews. If someone is mad, they will probably leave a review.
And one thing, I'm not sure if it strike you or not, but daycares, they are like hot pancake.
They just
You
go.
have to register there as soon as you land. If you know which city you are coming, which area, I expect that probably you might be coming into Airbnb. But once you figure out which area you're gonna actually live, reach out to the daycares.
Some people, they even decide their home based on the
Yes.
daycare's availabilities.
So we were discussing about this child care subsidy thing. So could you please help us with that? Like, how much will be the child care subsidy and what would be the eligibility?
So how childcare subsidy works is that you get it decided based on
Household
the
income.
your household incomes, that right. And so every year after doing the same way in India, Nigeria, and all countries where there's a tax season and you file your taxes, then there's the tax department here is known as CRA. The CRA determines whether how much your dependents are. So say for example, in the starting only one person is working and you have two kids, so now the person who is working has three dependents. That will determine how much money you will get. So that means you will probably get the maximum amount you can get. Then after that you will start getting monthly checks or monthly payments there. Now if you have if both of the parents are working and their salaries are already good, then you won't get a significant amount. You probably get like a very small amount, and that's what happened like in starting years. And that's good because not everyone got a job. Government wants to support them. They get more money, $600 per month, something.
That's up to $600.
Up to $600 you can get.
Okay, let me go next. Thank you so much for all the questions, and I think some of the questions have actually elicited more questions from me. Okay, I think the very first question I will take is how do we register for a daycare?
So in short, there are four options. One is, for example, the government website. Say in our city, we have onelist.ca. The second is the individual website of these daycares that you have to go Google and find it out. For the daycare, there are usually is the Facebook community page. Whichever the community you are living in these days, it's very common you may find a Facebook page where you may go in and check the inquiry that I have a kid, I want to send to a daycare, do you have some reference, and people will start giving the recommendation to the local daycare.
Okay, we are looking to arrive at Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now we are trying to select which city in Ontario will be best for us. Yeah.
You know what? I think that is, we know that this is a call for this, but we can always do another call for that one. It's also a very good topic, especially if you're coming in Ontario, with cities, because we have seen all the like we have lived in cities, so we can probably able to suggest you something based on our experience.
My son is 8, as I told you. So, is French mandatory in school?
French, no.
No, it's not.
Because we'll be landing in Ontario, so no, right?
No, it's not.
It's not mandatory. When you go for the admission, you may go for the French immersion, where now French immersion have all the subjects in French except for example, the school where Asha will go. They have a French immersion, but the science, maths, and social science will be in English.
Okay.
No, sorry, it's another way around. Only these three will be in French. The rest of other subject will be in English.
And another question I had is that, and how do we merge the office time and the school time? Do we need to have school time and after that again daycare till we finish office if both the parents are working?
Great, thank you Ishra for bringing that up. So usually the school time is like what, 8 to 3 here, and after 3 is they call it after school. And that's why they have that YMCA right next to the school, so that after 3 o'clock kids can go to the YMCA. So if you're sending your kid to a public school until 3, you don't have to pay anything. If you decide to send them to after school, which starts from 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock, you have to pay little extra.
Hi all, my name is Kushan, and first of all, thank you for having this and thank you for having us. I have a question. I have 3 kids. One is 6 years, and the other one is 1 year, and the other one is in 2.5 years. So my question is, probably me and my wife both may have to work once we're over there, and if at all, if we are planning to put them to daycare, is there a preference that in the event if we want to have all 3 kids in one daycare, let's say it's a public one, or let's say it's a private one. A private one, of course, maybe we can negotiate. But in the public ones, is there a possibility, or would they be giving preference to us to have all 3 kids in the one daycare?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, so if they have a spot for 3, they will take it. But that is also a kind of a kind of a drawback as well, because if they say no, we can only take 1, we have only spot for 1 or 2, then it's up to you to decide whether you just want to send 1 kid there and 2 to the other one. But they won't give preference. They won't say that you have
Just
3
because
kids, we give you preference for that. Sometimes the private ones might be able to do that. They will say yes, I have. Again, private also same thing, because they have a capacity, they cannot go beyond that capacity. Private one can say yes, 3 kids, I can take all 3 kids.
One more question that we had, are meals and everything included as part of the daycare routine, or do we have to send us separate meals for our child?
Well, I can tell you for after COVID, like in COVID, pre-COVID, there used to be a time that yes, you can still send your homemade meal, but say in Arshia's daycare, it's not allowed. They want every kid to have something which is common. They have a special cook. They share the menu with us every week, that this will be the meal of the week.
And is there a separate meal plan for vegetarian kids and kids who are?
So parents who are vegetarian, they can tell and inform them your dietary restriction, whether or not your kid is vegetarian, non-vegetarian, have some allergy, and daycare will gonna take care of it. There is no extra charge for that. And good part is in daycares, it's legal. They are not allowed to give kids juice, at least in the institutional, I can say. I'm not sure about the daycare. So this whole thing started with a mass that if the kids are on high sugar, they'll be more aggressive, they'll be full of energy, which will be harder for the teachers. So why we are on the happier side, because we don't offer any sweets to Arshia, so this give us a little relax. I was little worried that if I'm not sending any meal to her, what is she gonna eat? Is she gonna eat cupcakes, which I definitely don't want her to. I don't want to offer her juice. So they will assure the meal plan is very healthy.
They send you the meal plan every week.
Thanks. So do they share progress reports? Is there like a is there milestones there, how your kid is progressing? Do they kind of share that on regular basis? Well, are you satisfied with how they're probably helping your kid grow?
Sure. I can again share with Arshia's experience and few parents whom I have heard the same. Again, this could be one of your factor when you are choosing the daycare. Say with Arshia, we have an application from her daycare in which they post her activity. We get a daily update in terms of what meal she had, how many servings she has. For example, 1 serving of milk, 2 serving of pasta, or anything that she's eating, and how much fruit and veggie she's eating. That's about the food part. For how long she take a nap, and what activity she has enjoyed the most. That could be the outdoor activity, or that could be the indoor activity. Just small request, we want to see faces to these names: Swati, Ela, Daniel, Kushan, Tasneem, going further. So when we actually meet in person, we know who the Prabjot is, and then we can say, oh Prabjot, now you're clean shave, where is your beard that we have seen? Hi Kushan, thank you for turning on the video.
We love interacting with
with new people, and thank you folks for giving us this opportunity meeting together.
Thank you for your information. I just have one small request. If you can please make a video, from IT jobs perspective, because me and my husband, we both are in IT, and we are struggling that, Ontario or Kitchener with a suitable place for jobs and to raise a family. So just on. And one more thing, there's what is the basic difference between these public and private schools? Because people say, public schools, they are as good as private schools, but why are there private schools? Are they offering anything better or anything? So I just have these two small requests.
Again, thank you again, guys. Talking to us, we feel very good about this. Talking to you guys.
Yeah.
We can plan another session. We actually promised to do another session with more parents. They might have more questions, so it's going to help everyone, we think.
It was a fun session.
It was definitely. It was such a fruitful session, 1 hour. We love talking to you guys.
Guys, we will be doing more session like this in near future, answering your question regarding raising your kid here, which city you should be coming in, life as a working parents here in Canada. So let us know in comments below if this is something that interests you and you want to be a part of these sessions. We'll be happy to have you included as well.
Also, we will be doing a YouTube live session where you can ask more questions and talk to us.
Just a small request. Make sure you turn on the camera for us.
Absolutely.
Because we will be turning on the camera. We want to see you face to face.
Till then, we'll make another video, another awesome video. Take care wherever you are.